guy. Do I look thoroughly wicked?
Hello.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh dear, what do we do about this? Is everybody happy with the sound quality? What we have is there's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There's 2 of me, and I'm trying to get rid of it. Right, let me to the stage again. Let's see what I can do. Where am I?
We're live.
All right.
Yeah, we are.
Remove.
So how's everybody doing?
Wonderful, Thunder. How are you
Hi
doing, man?
Doing great.
Doing fine.
Hello.
Been a beautiful day. Snowy.
How are you,
Too
people?
blessed.
Hello, MCAT.
Too blessed to be depressed.
Oh, I like that, Mark. That is very cool, man.
Hello, Salem.
Very blessed today. Even more so, I got my kids to do the dishes without bickering about it. Total win.
You're doing pretty good.
So what's our topic tonight? Faith?
Yep.
Yeah, faith.
Have faith, faith, faith.
So I'm going to say about faith. Is faith from God? Is faith essence? Is faith belief? Is faith have faith move mountains? Do
Devotion.
you need faith? What is faith to you?
It's an interesting question.
Anybody wants to take a gamble?
Well, I can definitely say that faith is definitely something that's important. I wouldn't say that it's exactly religious. It's the faith in yourself, the faith in the energy of you, and the inner you. I think that everybody should seek some form of faith in them, whether it is believing in themselves or believing in an energy or a god, goddess. It's very important, and it's about being connected. It's about finding your true self. It's about understanding the realities of this world, understanding what this world is really needing. It's so many different things that's represented to it.
Do we need faith?
I
think
Yes.
As I said, yes, you do need faith. Yeah.
Yes.
Whether it's believing in something or believing in yourself, yes, you need to have faith. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Faith
love that.
can be devotion to a cause or a higher purpose as well. Everything good is attained through faith. A perfect faith in a belief, an idea, a concept, or a construct.
That you can believe in. And that belief
Correct.
is filled with all kinds of power.
Yes. The more faith you have, the more you will excel in that particular field of study.
Yeah.
Be it religious or even for a higher calling or purpose in life. If you believe in a cause or a purpose, you'll have faith and things will get accomplished. The more faith you have, the more steps forward you take.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
I do too. And I think it's really interesting that when we have that type of faith, we are like the mountains that we originally thought were in our path, the obstacles melt away. because that
Those,
faith,
the Mike, wouldn't you think that those mountains become speed bumps on the road forward
yes,
when you look at the big picture? Because you're moving forward.
it's exactly what I mean with faith. And that's how you move forward.
Yeah.
Turn those mountains into molehills or road bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's really interesting. The other day, I was showing my kids how to sweep and clean up the floor. I'm like, all of your problems, guys, are just like this pile of dirt. All you got to do is clean it and put it away where it's supposed to go, and that's it. And in doing that, we have the faith, and that faith gives us the inspiration of what action to take to help get us through it.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
It I don't know. Faith is a lot of things. It stands with our consciousness, our beliefs, how we present ourselves outwardly to people. You know, faith is a lot of things. It's belief into a spiritual deity, the source of all things. You
Is
faith,
faith a form of
faith is also
divination?
belief within yourself so that you can have a skill set like Mark was talking about.
And
Yeah.
its roots starts off as fetus, which means it's a Latin root. So faith is fetus in early Latin in ancient Latin usage. Semper Fidelis, for example, for the Marine Corps, ever faithful.
Yeah.
So it has very old roots.
I'm very impressed that you know that. Ooh.
That's something I didn't know.
Yeah, but it's esoteric intellectual.
Yeah. Latin.
Another one.
Fetus is little one, a little child in Latin. So we should be childlike.
I went to a
Faith,
Catholic school, but
wouldn't you consider faith is also present without proof? So to have faith,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to have proof in something to have a belief, a perfect belief in something. A good illustration of that, for example, is religion. When you have a perfect faith in a religion, it may not have to become manifest for you to have that faith in your deity or in God or in whatever cause that you're serving. So it's a perfect trust and belief in that concept.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know how you can tell if somebody has faith in their deity? Because they will shed a tear every time they
Yep.
come in contact. They know.
Mm-hmm.
They know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I've done
interesting.
that many a time.
In that type of energy, that type of your connection and communication or communion with the deity is truly amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's three keywords there too: knowledge, assent, and also trust. Those are all three words that are closely associated with the term faith. Without faith, you can't. You have to have those to have faith. I think trust is the key, one of the main key terms there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why witches will not enter a circle unless there is perfect love and perfect trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a bad heart against another, you're not supposed to enter into it.
Right.
That you do.
Right.
Or if you're entering into a medicine wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect
Yep.
trust.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we could say that trust is part of the essence of faith.
Yes.
It would have to be.
Yes.
So what other types
of magic? There has to be faith, belief, and a manifestation of a trust with the deity or deities that you are working with.
And it's the same in Christianity too, with faith in God and God's word or belief or practice.
Yes.
So they have that in common as far as common traits.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think all world religions share that, doesn't it? By my experience.
by mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Faith is the major component to all world religions and
Yeah.
all understanding. I think that's part of the illumination of mankind.
It's our only illumination. Because what other species kills just for killing?
Right.
A wild domesticated dog's the only other species that kills just to kill.
Animals don't have faith in perceived concepts. Only mankind does. It sets us apart.
Yeah.
And it may be divine in nature.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
That and creativity. I think those are two of the things that sets us apart from the animals on the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity, like the creation of any of the gods, deities, or what a person would worship, have created, and creativity, art, music, all those things derive from that. But faith is a key, absolute key component. Without it, you have nothing.
So without faith, the artist cannot paint or draw their masterpiece.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's interesting when we do take a look at all of the world religions, they're all based in that. So that faith, we could say, is also a universal concept or universal principle.
A universal truth, yes.
You want to know a universal truth? We all see faith in many different amazing ways. All of us.
Mhm.
We could be of the same tradition, but we would see faith, spirit, and consciousness as different entities. And a
Mhm.
different view is what I'm making reference to. I think
And
that's quite amusing that we're
and
sitting having a talk about something that I've tried to teach people, but you don't really teach it to them. They have to accept it.
Mhm. What's cool is that we can have this talk and the open dialogue and discussion, to teach concepts that cross across religions and across belief systems worldwide, in terms that apply to everyone equally. That's what makes this cool. I think that it's an elevated talk.
Yeah.
Completely agree. And I find it interesting too. So I'd like to ask this question: is faith the essence of truth, or is truth the essence of faith? Because in all faiths, we find our truth or a truth.
True.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, I think they're indispersible.
look at this.
Substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Barbara has a good statement. I'll let her tell you that one. I like that.
I was just thinking about that scripture. It says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did you see what which master general wrote there?
Faith only because man's mind is at war with itself. Animals are not battling their own nature. That's
Oh,
very true.
yeah.
So in that statement, then, how do we use faith to bring our mind and body into balance? The way that I do that is through my spiritual practice, through honoring nature and honoring my ancestors. I find a lot of faith and comfort in that. Cared for, nurtured, and guided when I tune into that type of practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faith being a
Very true,
Mason,
like-
or wouldn't you say that faith is also being a Mason? I would say it's a cornerstone to all belief systems across the spectrum. No matter what you have, without faith, you have nothing. You have to have faith to have confidence to do things, to structure things from rituals on down. Everything is based within faith and around faith.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe in that.
Yeah.
I think that faith is one of these things that is put in our heads that is divine. There's no true way to describe it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have faith in bad things, but you can also have faith in light things. and it's
Correct.
multidimensional within our spirits. It's something that dwells deep within that we try to express, but sometimes it's hard for us to express our faith in words.
And
More,
faith can. Do you think, Chris, that faith can be applied in multiple formats? I've seen faith in what I would consider good deeds, good actions, or good belief systems, and I've seen equal adherence or faith in misconceptions or evil, even, or in things that I would view as evil in nature. You know, would
yes,
you think that faith, in your
yeah,
opinion, goes across the spectrum as far as uh,
yeah. Why wouldn't it? We're
yeah, I
creatures.
agree. Yeah, I
We're
agree.
look at us. We're humans. We have a dark side. All of us has a dark side, a bad
Hmm.
side, a naughty side. But we also have that side of us that is divine in nature, who seeks to do good.
Hmm.
And it's up to the individual of what they are truly looking for. Are they looking for that darkness? Are they letting what I would call principalities of insecurities to lead a path down to touching these dark things, to manifest? Thought forms are our worst enemies.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that magically. You don't have to be a witch to have these thought forms manifest into negativity or spirits of entities that are not desired. Our faith follows us. And if we keep putting our faith into these dark thoughts, what do you manifest in life? These
Yeah.
dark things. It's no different for us to wave that. Like for me, I want to walk with the goddess every day, every day, every day. You know, what's in my thought? Goddess, God, goddess, God. It doesn't go
Hmm.
away. Faith, what I believe in. Do I believe in a God of light and a goddess of dark of light? Yes. Do I believe in a God of darkness and a goddess of darkness? Yes. Because you can't have one without the other. My faith follows that.
In some cultures, faith is so strong that it can compel a human to walk barefoot on hot coals,
Yeah.
unscathed. So faith is so powerful that it can even transcend the physical form at times.
Mark, I remember one time a member of
Look, my
Chrissy's
fellas in
coven
the room.
had a student. His daughter was born with a hole in her heart. He had faith to bring her to us so that we could heal her.
Hmm.
Was it the spell or was it that man's belief that that child would be healed? The child was healed. He took her to her doctor appointment, and the doctor was really puzzled, asked a lot of questions. Was it the man's faith that healed that child?
Yes.
I believe so. I believe that faith is a powerful weapon for healing. Faith healers have amazing abilities. We in Western medicine learn that everything is treated through pharmaceuticals. And that's the worst fallacy there is because faith healing in China, India, or some of the cultures that are far older than our Western culture are no less valid and oftentimes quite superior. We're still coming up with modern science to describe the things that my people as indigenous learned many, many generations back. They're just now coming up with the science to describe what we already knew to be true. And it is through faith that many things are accomplished.
Yeah, I believe that. But in my life, through faith, I could stand in place, cast a circle without moving my hand around. A legit, let's step in between the worlds. I have reached out and touched people who has been hundreds of miles from me, if not
Hmm.
thousands, magically
Yeah.
for good purposes. just be legit here. I don't want somebody misconstruing, me
I
saying,
don't think that would be a misconception, because even in the Christian Bible it says that you speak your reality. That's no less valid for any religion. That's in most religions. We speak our reality. Words have power.
yeah,
Words
I do.
promote actions, and that's all based in faith.
Our thoughts have power. Our words have power.
Oh
They have
yeah.
magic. Our hands have power. But if we try to explain what power is, it's the same thing, same topic as trying to explain what is faith. What is it? How are we able to manipulate that energy? It's through faith. Faith is the only way that a witch moves their power. Their
Faith can also, don't you think, in your experience, Chris, and Sherry can speak to this, in witchcraft and Wicca, that you have a threefold law. What energy you put out, you get back threefold.
Yes.
So I've noticed that most
Yeah.
people have misconceptions about Wiccan or witches being necessarily evil. I think the ones that I have encountered that have evil or negative traits are not true witches, because true witch knows that the energy they put out comes back threefold. And it's a faith in our spiritual ability that keeps us safe without worry from, negative energies that come our way.
Yeah. It's the way that we align ourselves. It's the way that we think. Our mind is not about ego. Faith
Hmm.
is not about ego. Spirituality is not about ego.
Yep.
Spirituality is not about a preacher man leading a whole bunch of, his congregation and saying, you will do this, you will be doing that.
Hmm.
Spirituality, true spirituality, is not about, and I'm going to use myself as an example, as a priest, and to look at people and say, you're going to behave this way, and this way. And this is the only way that you could think.
Hmm.
This is the only way that you can pray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone's path's different.
it's different.
What works for one person doesn't work for the other person. I think all of our individual paths are unique and different, but neither are right nor wrong. I don't presume that someone should judge another one's path, because that's a personal journey that we each take with our beliefs and within our faith.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
but there has been a lot of judgment.
I
There
get
has.
a lot of judgment because I look at Jesus, Yeshua, Jesus, as the
Hmm.
priest. Not necessarily that he is the Messiah, but the example that he set for mankind is
Hmm.
exemplary. He
Look
showed
at the
the lighted side. And,
Yeah.
I get a lot of judgment because I'll publicly state that. But the big
Look.
question is, how secure are these people when they lay that judgment on me, going, oh, here he goes again, talk about the Bible or blah, blah, blah. I get confused on that. You
It's
know,
no different. It's no different with the Buddha, would you
yeah,
say?
yeah,
The Buddha, the exact same concept. The Buddha was a spiritually enlightened person, a mortal person that showed through his lifestyle and his choices in life what positive living and positive energy is capable of. In fact, many of the Buddhist monks can do quite phenomenal things that we would deem as supernatural in nature due to their devotion to their faith.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you 100%. You know, we should, this is what I tell people all the time. Faith is not in a box. It is not. It is not in a square. It's not in our, shouldn't be in our imaginations. We should not put constraints on our spirituality. And this is
Hmm.
why I say this. It's because before I was initiated, the night that I was initiated, I had this Gardanian sit down with me and
Hmm.
explain this is how your your energy moves. He put a glass in front of me, and he took his hand and he put it above it. And he goes, Thunder, I put energy into that glass. He goes, where is that energy? And I said, in the glass. And he picks it up. He turns it upside down. He goes, why contain your magic? Magic is unlimited, and so is faith. Faith is the thing that dwells within us in the mundane and also in the other world. So why confine your spirituality just to one belief? You know, it's like I state to people all the time, yes, I am a traditional witch. I'm proud of it. You know, knock me down a notch, you know. But I'm not also going to be this horse or this dog chasing his tail in circles and not, you know, spinning my wheels and not moving forward spiritually. Get rid of the ego. Brush that ego away. Open up your eyes. The magic of faith and spirituality is at your feet. You just have to choose your path wisely and the people around you wisely. Right action, right mindedness. Transcend, don't be sin.
I think that faith also opens our third eye. It helps to open our perception to things that are unseen or unproven. I'm going to use an example. People that believe in UFOs, for example. If you tell somebody who's never seen a UFO that UFOs exist, a certain segment of them are going to think you're crazy. Other people that believe that there is such or believe in the concept are going to be more receptive because they have a faith in the belief that we're not alone.
Yeah.
Those, of course, that have seen, you know, are more tuned in. Like if you go to a hotel room and you check in and you find something dirty on your sheets, for example, you're going to start looking around the room for other flaws. So I think it super tunes our senses to what's around us, even the unseen. And that's a concept of faith.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, we cannot put these I'm not saying that a person should, you know, we should all join together and make one religion. But what I tell people is believe in yourself and believe in your God. I have traveled the magical path, and it has been glorious. I do not regret any suffering that I have come in contact with for me to ascend spiritually. You know, with all of the good and all of the bad, but yet I still believe. I'm broken, you know, physically. I'm broken.
Think about this. As we don't judge one another, I mean that's commanded in the Christian scripture to not thou shalt not judge. But it's also a great concept because if you open your surroundings to friends from different cultures, different religions, different walks in life, you may learn some important concepts along the way that your eyes would have been closed to previously.
Yeah.
Right. 100%.
You know, it's like we're having this conversation about faith, but yet when we walk away, when the show's ended tonight, we'll have a broader perspective in our subconscious of what faith is.
I would like to say something was presented here, and like quite a bit about faith. But no one has ever said to me that faith opening up the pineal gland, the psychic, and I think that's an excellent view. Thank you.
Well, calcification of the pineal gland can occur from fluoride in city water, but also the opening of the pineal gland can take place through different concepts and being able to see different ideas in different ways that are beyond the normal scope of belief or thought. You know, faith plays important parts into that. how could a person ever perceive of a extrasensory perception, psychic ability, or magic, or even the benefit of prayer without that faith concept? So that really opens the mind up in ways that is transcends what we're conditioned to do.
Exactly. That's how magic happens. When you open up that
Hmm.
third eye, you
Yeah.
have that faith and that belief. It's like for me creating a circle. If I
Hmm.
did not have faith in myself that the divine has instilled in me,
Hmm.
magic, would the magic work? No, no.
You said a key.
No,
You
you've got
said a
to have
key
that
word.
faith, that belief.
Didn't you say a key word there? Creating, correct?
Hmm.
Okay, creation is the act of the gods.
Yeah,
Again, without faith, you don't create. Without creativity, you have nothing as well, too. Those are important symbiotic concepts.
yeah,
You have to have both, but that helps you open up your vision to things beyond normal concepts. I think a lot of our audience will understand that. Sometimes we given terms out like star seed, star children, indigos. I think that people that see things outside the box, or more importantly, that doesn't see a box at all, are people that see these concepts, and this will appeal to know that number one, we're not alone, even though there's very few of us. But being able to see these concepts, it does require faith, and it requires seeing things in a different way. And creativity and creation, those are all concepts that work together.
yeah. That was Master General says, if a bride does not have faith in the groom, would she ever marry him? It's a good question. The same
Hmm.
way with faith. If you don't have faith, you can never really bond with that energy. Yes,
That's
I
It's
agree.
true.
100%.
Very true.
100%. It's like my first high
You've
priestess
got
used
to be connected.
it.
I
Embrace
will say,
magic. Don't fight against it.
Hmm.
Embrace it.
I have
You are.
I have never shared what I'm going to say live on a show before, okay? But a spirit said to me, like Merlin said to me actually, and I've never said this before. He said to me, I have an inner spirit, an inner strength, and an almighty power, and my faith is immense. And that was said to me like when I was young, and I've never forgotten it. My faith is immense. I've never forgotten it. And so I'll say it one more time. I have an inner strength, an inner power. That's what I have an inner spirit, an inner
I
strength,
agree.
an almighty power, and my faith is immense. And like Merlin says that to me, and I've never forgotten it because those words are binding. Yeah, faith.
Are you familiar with the tale of the 300 Spartans? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
everyone here probably have heard about it. Think about the army of Leonidas with 300 brave Spartans facing down armies of tens of thousands, over 30,000 men. It required a deep level of faith in confidence in their abilities to their faith in one another to have survived and held out through that onslaught. Faith is an important concept in our day-to-day lives about the battles we choose that we find important and to what length we're willing to go to see that come to a good fruition. 300 men versus 30,000, that's horrible odds, but yet they held them at the gates. Um, that's an important lesson for humanity, not just in combat, but in the power of faith and belief in one another and in a higher purpose.
Yeah, yeah. I believe in the higher purpose more than I do my brothers and sisters of the world. That's sad,
Mhm.
because I have been burned by individuals. I've been
Mhm.
slandered, people manifesting crap out of their head. I put my faith in the divine spirit and I align myself with people that are of light and truth because I believe that it betters me, but also helps myself transcend, but it helps those around me transcend. Faith. It's like Bradley asked earlier. Does faith move mountains? Can
Yeah.
it? Can it?
Don't you think it's amazing that faith really can move mountains? That's amazing, isn't it? Really?
Faith built the
And it's
faith
true
built
what
the
Anonymous
pyramid.
Light said in the room as well, saying about that, nowadays it has been lost, the connection with like other energy and stuff. People have forgotten
Mhm.
because of the things that are put into society, the things that are put in front of us that we're meant to believe. And people have forgot that how to connect to the true world and how beneficial it is to be connected to the world and to the universe and to everything else. People don't care about that. They're too bothered about what's on the next TV program and what new perfume am I going to be getting. Am I going to be getting this, getting that? Well, none of that is important. It's material things. Your mind and the way you are as a person is what's important, and is what is your destiny. So what do you choose to do? Keep being blind and keep being ignorant, or wake up? Like, like they were saying, they had faith in themselves and each other. We are living gods. We can create and take life. Our bodies are our temple. Yes, our bodies are our temple. They're the very thing that we exist within. But the spirit itself is of another energy. This body is just something to exist in. It's not physically
I,
who we are. It's just
I've got a
what you
good
see
one.
here.
I've got a good one. Didn't faith build the pyramids? And I'm going to give you a little technical expertise from somebody who's worked in construction and had heavy equipment. Do you know that we do not have earth moving equipment strong enough to stack the blocks that built the pyramids or many of the great wonders of the world? Tell
That
me
is
that
true.
faith was not a component to a society that did not have the technology, supposedly, and I'm going to say supposedly, that we have today. So I think faith had a major component in things that we cannot even recreate to this day, the great works of the ancient world.
That's correct.
Sorry,
Have you
guys, I
guys
have to just keep looking at that. I keep getting double frames.
story of Henry Ford, the V8 motor? He told his scientists he wanted a V8 motor that ran on 8 cylinders. They all told him, the top minds in the world told him it was impossible. He told them, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how long it takes you. Do not come back to me until you have what I want. It took 6 years, but they did it.
Wow.
And look at how that transformed the world. That type of motor we use in so many different machines now. If it wasn't for his faith and his innovation, we wouldn't have it. Amazing.
True.
Yeah, faith is very broad. It's like a person who's playing their instrument in church. They're playing a song, but the song is played so powerful for them that it brings fear to somebody else. I think that is faith.
Faith enables confidence.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. The faith is a key to build confidence in anything you do. If you choose to do something in this world and you have faith, the confidence will come to get that task or goal accomplished.
Yeah. I believe it.
That's fuel for the fire.
Yes.
Nice.
I agree. Light or dark. If you have faith, you have the will. Yeah, it can happen.
Agree.
Agreed. To know, to will, to dare.
Is faith divination?
No.
It's faith.
No, divination is a type of communication. Divination isn't anything to do with faith. Divination is communication and talking to other energy.
Not
faith
communication with the soul, communication with your soul.
Yes and no. It's your soul reaching out to the divine.
Yeah.
To let me be more specific, it is your soul reaching out to a Pacific within the divine spectrum, because the divine spectrum is broad, it's masculine, it's feminine, but it's also elemental.
There's 4 types.
Yeah, so we have to, we have to keep it broad.
Yeah.
That was a good question, though.
Spiritual
It really made me think.
substance. Yeah. Spiritual substance, I would say.
Yeah,
it is more spiritual substance. Yeah.
I truly believe that faith is about our soul reaching out and touching things. We're manifesting things. We're part of that goddess that we believe in, and we set our course, whether it's light or dark.
Yeah. Yes.
We
yes,
are reaching
brother.
out, we're touching it. And
Yes.
it's like quantum physics when you really think about it. I know that there's a shelf behind me, but when I'm facing you guys and talking on this, am I really, really believing that there's a wall behind me with a shelf?
hmm the fact that we can choose our path. I think that that's the important concept, because we don't come with predestined instructions. We self-program. That's the beautiful part. You can choose your path in this world, right or wrong, light or dark. You can choose our path, and it is faith that is the blueprints that set us on our task in our day-to-day life.
Yeah, Shadow's right on this. Here, let me post this up.
Yeah, in that way, yes, it is faith, because we're trusting in who we're communicating with and stuff. But what I meant is divinization itself, like in spiritual concept, is known as communicating with spirit and using other tools to communicate with spirit. But yes,
she's right.
You do
she's
use
right.
faith.
Yeah,
she's right.
She is right. Yeah.
But we are learning something tonight, aren't we?
And divination is similar to prayer, if you think about it, because when Christian prays to God, he has perfect faith that his prayer is being listened to. And I have seen miracles take place from faith healers, which they will call prayer warriors, that lay their hands on people out of faith. That has immense power.
I've got a question. Who is this guy in this chat room with us sharing esoteric intellect? That is very interesting. Christopher.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? I haven't got my right reading glasses on. I got busted. I'm waiting for a new pair. £500.
Streamer one?
Which one?
I can't read the name of the guy below you.
The last one or the one before that?
The guy below you. Who is it?
Nico.
Shadow Fox Streamer 1. That's Nico.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nico.
Wow. Yeah, I like the way you're presenting yourself. Must be.
Anonymous, thank you for all your input.
Oh, I see you now, isn't it? I thought you had a wig on or something. My eyesight. You don't look like who I know. You look like someone else. But it doesn't matter. These are not my right glasses. I bought these glasses off eBay, and luckily they just about work. But
I got a haircut. I got the lawnmower hold of me.
Oh,
yeah.
No lawnmowers, please. I'm keeping my locks as long as I can.
Oh, in the summer, as a farmer, you've got to have short hair, or you'll burn up.
Oh yeah.
I believe that.
Put me on a white hat though.
Trim with
I'm just hoping by the end of the year ice doesn't round me up. Catch me out in the field picking real dark.
Yeah.
Liable to round me up. I hope they got good tacos where they take me, bro.
But yeah,
And as we're all talking, I'm negotiating channel TV. Wow, really? I
Mhm.
certainly am.
Very
As
nice.
we're talking. Yeah, so like, yeah, what a pleasant evening this turned out to be.
yeah.
I think I have faith that good things are going to occur and then
Yeah.
develop.
And me as well. Totally agree with you. I have faith. My faith is immense. Onwards and upwards. There is nothing else except my faith.
Bradley, you're a knight.
There is nothing else.
You
My
live,
faith.
a knight lives by faith.
Yep.
Bold, gallant, chivalrous. Okay.
Correct.
I'll share something
Yep.
with you. You're not
Faith.
all witches and shamans like you believe you are. You're not just them. You're all knights. The Mystic Roundtable of 7 holds 7 seats for 7 knights who are bold, gallant, chivalrous, courageous. I mean, need I go on? Do you want me to big you up even more? Oh, how lucky. And God made you that way for the Mystic Roundtable. God made you that way. So I think God might have a plan up his sleeve that he's not sharing with us.
Oh, I'm sure. I think that it's time. It's time that humanity has people to take a lead or a stand for positive things in this world, and I have faith that we're not alone. That among the viewing audience and among the people that are out there, they know that we all have a common higher calling, and that they will understand that the purposes that people are working toward are to bring about a common good, and has zero to do with monetization, money. It has nothing to do with ego. It has nothing to do with power. It has to do with community and building a brighter future for humanity, which really needs to transcend to the next level. I
Yeah.
always say you never see the mouse building a mousetrap, but look what humanity does. Without faith, we degrade to that.
Yeah. I agree
Yeah.
with you. 100%. Blessed be. Yeah.
I intend to grow old and have lots of friends and have barbecues and listen to cool music and do neat things.
I agree.
That's my faith.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
And
Yeah.
like, it's faith for me is not hope. You know, like I've got faith. What you mean? You hope something's going to work out fine? No.
Very true, like
Faith is an energy.
very, very true.
Faith is an energy, an essence of myself, and it like every day I find there's an element of faith in every day, helping me through the day, and offering me a opening, a future, a light. All that comes from the faith, stimulated from within my soul, to help me
Yep.
transform the day into the essence and energy of light. Yeah, faith.
I have faith that everyone here that is speaking on this panel is a good person with a good intent. I have faith in that based on what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've encountered. And I think we all have a very shared path in this, which I'm honored to step forward with brothers and sisters of like mind and try to change things for the better. That is a faith. That is my
Yeah.
faith in the belief that we can make a change, that we can make a positive impact in humanity. When we look around at the world leaders, all I see, and I don't want to really step on anyone's toes, and I'm not calling out one party or any particular politician, but we have jokes running most countries. We have criminals. We have people that are out for personal gain or for ego or for agendas. When it takes hundreds of millions of dollars to run for president of the United States, and I'm not calling any political candidate. I'm saying that if you have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to get a job that pays less than 4 million, there's a problem, folks. And it has to do with greed and power. But I have a faith there's a better way to do things. I have a faith that humanity, when we become enlightened and we step up, you know, to the next level, people are going to see a better way to do things. I think we'll see transformations in government. I think we'll see transformations in our day-to-day life and our interactions with one another as a species. No purpose is ever served in this world for war. No purpose is ever served for children to starve or for elderly to freeze. To me, I have a faith and a vision of humanity for a positive future, not the negative path that we've been headed down that road.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, man.
And if I could be a little smidge, I'd be happy. I just want to be a tool. I don't have to be a boss. I don't have to be nothing. Just a little tool to help that happen.
And you are a tool. You're a pencil sharpener. I use your thoughts, feelings, and emotions to sharpen my pencil when I'm addressing.
That's awesome.
the
That's
future.
awesome. That's how we get
When I
things
think
done.
Mark, you know what?
Yeah.
Faith is one of those things and that cannot be bought or sold.
Correct.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
No,
me,
it's very true.
my path, me doing this podcast thing, I have never asked anybody for any sort of money. Never.
No.
You know
And
why?
that's noble. That's honorable and
You know
noble.
why? Because that's the way I was taught.
Yeah, me too.
I am lucky.
You know,
I have been blessed with abundance, which gives me a financial opportunity to invest in our future with a live stream television channel. I have been blessed with abundance to finance
When
our own
when
television
we get
channel.
when we get to where we make money, I don't have an emphasis on money. Money that comes to me is a means to do more charitable things in this world. I mean, I'm a Shriner for a reason. I want to help humanity. I am a very simple person with simple taste. But I see greater good that can be done across the world. When you look at the problem of homelessness costing, 20 billion dollars to fix it, and we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars to do all kinds of ridiculous things. We
Like
don't
those
care enough
studies,
about each other. We don't have faith in ourselves as a people or a nation to help our homeless or to help the starving. But yet we have
Quentin.
faith to do all these other ridiculous things. To me, it's atrocious. We
Let's
just
go
we
to
need a
Venus.
positive.
Let's
Yeah.
invest in like all Jones spaceships go to Venus and Mars, while Africa starves.
Yeah, is that not horrible?
Why
Who
is
can
Africa
who?
starving? Is it because they're black? Is it because there's no
Yeah.
excuse? The Vatican could beat Africa.
How can somebody sit on a mountain of gold? And I'm not going to call out any world religion, but how can any world religion set on mountains of gold and allow children to starve when the very covenant of their faith is to care for their fellow human beings? How does that
Mhm.
happen? How does these people with extreme, I'm talking about, and I don't think that God is against a person being successful or well off, but there's a certain limit. How much
Yeah,
do
but
you
these are
need?
money hungry. They don't care about
Right,
anything else but
right,
money.
right.
Right.
So how is that a faith in that belief? I don't believe it is. I really think that people should reevaluate how we do things. As a species, I can't see a child starve to death. I don't care what a child's color is. I don't care where it's from. Children don't need to see war. They don't need to see killing. They don't need to starve to death. We got elderly people freezing to death on this planet, dying of extreme temperatures. There's people that die for simple 3-penny vitamin shots that they can't get to keep them alive. And yet we have people sitting on wealth that just is unimaginable, the amount of money that they have. I can't see it personally myself. And one of these days I may make large amount of money, but I guarantee you I'm going to do a whole lot of God's work with it, because I promise you it ain't about me.
Hey, baby.
I don't care.
yeah.
I always say
Talking
if
to a fella who's in the chat.
I make tomorrow, if I had $1 million, I'll be broke tomorrow because I'm going to give it all away.
Yeah. I may pay my bills. I may pay my bills what I owe. That's cool. Pay your bills. If you need something specifically, get that. That's okay. If
Yeah.
you needed a different car, go get a different car. That's all right. I don't think anybody's against that. But if you tell me that you're going to set on this insane amount of money that you'll never possibly even be able to begin to spend, that just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's
I guess
great.
I have faith.
That
I
is
have
great.
faith in us as a species. I didn't at one time. I've actually developed that faith over time as I've gotten older. I have faith in us as a species.
That's because what you've seen,
Yeah.
throughout your life.
Oh, I've seen a lot. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And things that humans should not see. I just think that there's a limit. But man, I'll tell you what, the best reward you'll ever get in this world is when you have a sense of accomplishment with helping someone or showing them things that they learn from or experience or open new horizons for them.
Yeah.
That's the most refreshing thing. I call it enlightening. But I'm a farmer, not all the seeds, I say I plant seeds, but not all of them are in the field. Sometimes they're in a mind. But if we can open people's mind to see different concepts and way of doing things, and then they make a personal decisions to do more positive things, yeah, mission accomplished.
I do agree with you that what you're writing in the room, guys. Like, it is really hard to, even for ourselves, to be living. Prices are getting silly, and people are money hungry. They're putting up prices on buildings and food and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a dozen eggs.
They're destroying everything at the minute.
$6 a dozen for eggs.
How much? How much?
$6 a dozen.
Oh my God.
In a grocery store. I've seen them as high as 9 something. Yeah, prices are getting
I'm glad I got chickens. I always tell people, if you raise your own food or you have your own food sources, that's freedom. And if you don't raise your own food, get to know a farmer, a local farmer near you, because farmers don't get the credit sometimes they're due. They keep all of us alive. Just like I think that firefighters and policemen and military, they're all heroes. I think farmers are too, and so are truck drivers. Those that keep us alive in our day-to-day lives, they're worthy of some respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. They work their asses off. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's amazing how greed has taken over. It's like everybody's put faith right into the American, dollar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need to move beyond that. How much food is wasted every year?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Oh, how much faith is taken advantage of too. Look at these people that are enabled to have this insane wealth. People believe in them. You'll see TV evangelists. And like I said, I don't ever throw anybody under the bus or say names, but when you need multiple jets and you don't use them, you're just collecting them and putting them in a hangar. I mean, that's wrong. And you're collecting money from your congregation, telling them it's for the Lord's work, and they have faith to fund you, and then you abuse that faith. I think those are the people that are going to be in trouble on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be in their shoes. I don't care how pretty a smile they've got. I don't care how big a house they live in or how fancy their car is. Those are the ones I would not trade my digging in the dirt any day for.
Yeah. It's like I tell Gypsy all the time, keep life simple and always take the high road. Drop your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Drop the ego and live life.
Yep,
you ever notice?
That's the way it should be.
Is it the same in the UK, Sherry and Bradley? Is it the same in the UK that poor, sometimes people with the least means, or the poor people sometimes are a lot more generous than those that are wealthy?
Yeah, where I live, yeah, most definitely. Like, I'm not somebody that has a lot of money, but I'd be the first person to go out and help people. And there's a lot of people that are like that here as well. They don't have a lot of money and that, but if you knocked on their door and you didn't have something, they would give you it. They are like that here. But you go and knock on the door of somebody that's got loads of money, they're very rude.
I think a cool TV show, don't you think, would be to go around people's house and beg them for a sandwich, tell them you're hungry, and the people that give you the sandwich, that'd be the one you'd give something to nice.
Yeah.
You know, just to test their character. Because it'd be interesting to know how many poor families would help somebody with a sandwich that was really truly hungry versus the people that had financial means, and that would have been nothing to do.
I do believe in that as well.
Interesting.
Right,
Yeah.
I do believe in that. Churches are a business now. It's a shame when a pastor drives around in a BMW, something is wrong. Yeah, it should be about ability, faith, and things. Not about the money. It shouldn't be. So I do agree.
Poor people in England and Wales are more likely to give to homeless people, veterans, poor people are, because they understand the value of money. When you're rich, you really don't understand the value of money as much as you'd like to.
That's cool. I think that's a lesson in faith too, in humanity, and where we put our priorities. You know, I'm still thinking about that as a TV show. I'm thinking, wow, what if that was called Faith Test, you know, or something like that? That'd be really cool. I'd watch that.
I was thinking of doing a show where every weekend we distribute the lottery winning numbers.
Oh wow!
Do you reckon that show would do well?
I can't play the lottery.
You got to pay to watch the show.
I'm so poor. I'm so used to being poor. I can't play the lottery. I see that dollar as a pack of bologna or a loaf of bread. I'm just knowing I'm not going to win.
I don't really gamble. Yeah, I do gamble. I don't gamble on slot machines. I don't gamble. I gamble with people by investing money into people. I gamble with people. People are worth investing. To be honest with you, that's a good game.
There you go.
Really, and you all are worth investing.
Well, that's what I intend to do too. I mean, I have some pretty amazing technology to release to the world, and I hope that it causes some positive changes. But as far as the money, I hope to invest in humanity and making some good changes. You know, to me, I think that'd be the most rewarding life of human. I have faith that by doing so, that when I get to the other side, I'm going to be very happy over there. You know, that's my belief.
Right.
That's my
That's the way
faith.
I look at it. You know, Mark, I've served, communities that I've lived in all my adult life. I have faith. I have faith in the goddess. I have faith in myself that I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
I think you're a good person.
Only thing that I ask from the goddess is to transcend. Let my news so that I don't have to come back to this
I'm going.
Shit. Excuse my language, but that's the way I see it.
Can you imagine when we all get to the other side? If we get over there and we realize that denomination and religions wasn't important so much as it was the way we live our lives?
Yeah.
We're going to have every type over there. I think that's going to be the beautiful part.
Yeah.
But the thing is even if we do get over there and we do realize that religion is not important, I'm always going to be proud of who I am and what I've become.
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's
I don't think we should compromise, but I don't see that if you have somebody who's a really good human being on this side, I don't think that, personally, the ethnocentristic view of a human to judge another by the faith or skin tone or religion, I think all that's going to fade away, because in the spiritual world, that's not important. What's important is what you are and the choices you make in your life. We can deem it as the threefold law in Wicca, or we can deem it as our conscience or sinning, in Christianity. But in essence, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. We get to the other spiritual side.
We all have a reason to why we're here and the things that we do now. And when we're over there, it's the same way. There's still ways that we're expected to be influenced and to influence others. Your work is not done when you go over there. Yeah, you're in a better world. You don't suffer, you don't struggle, but you still have roles and things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. You have to learn in both worlds, not just one.
Well, I look at it this way. I have faith that my vibrational rate that I've built up through the years will send me to a better place in the spiritual realm.
Yeah,
Why should I
we'll
be
be
on
in
the
a better place. Yeah.
because bad works?
They won't. I was
high
trying to read the comment here. It says they won't escape God's wrath.
Yep.
And then think about this. Doesn't it say also, thou shalt not judge? And it doesn't actually speak about sin is mentioned in the Bible, but it says specifically, and thou shalt be judged according to thine works. It doesn't say that you're judged by your sins. It says that thou shalt be judged according to thine works. That's how you live your life every day. That's the same as karma, and it is the exact same thing as the threefold law, which you'll see a Wiccan or a witch or certain pagans, they will believe that the energy they put out, they're going to get back. So they're trying to remain positive. I think those are all the exact same concepts with different names.
Yep.
Yeah.
And God, the concept of God or a goddess or whatever you would believe, if you have a deity of love, it can't be wrathful. So if you have an agape love, like they say Jesus and God has an agape love, which I believe, agape means a never-ending or permanent, everlasting love. And if you have that, how can you have a wrathful being? The two concepts are not cohesive. They don't work together.
Yeah. I agree with you, Mark. It's beautiful the way that we can look at faith, spirituality, our religious experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish people would, instead of trying to find blame with one another's spiritual path,
Mm-hmm.
that they pray that the person who is trying to succeed would succeed instead of going, "Oh, you're going to hell in a handbasket really quick." You're kicking rocks. You're not going no place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of that.
I don't believe in doing that. I don't
Mike,
believe that one another should put a contract or some kind of BS to try to guilt a person who is doing good works
mm-hmm.
into
But
shame.
that's why I've always turned around and said to everyone that God made us all to be different. We're not meant to be the same. God made us all to be witches, Christians, Muslim, whatever, God made us all to be different. If we were the same, it'd be a boring place.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Don't you believe also that if like Sherry says, that we're all made to be different? Don't you think that diversity is beautiful? I mean, you're a shaman. You see a lot of diversity among people. Do you find that same concept appealing? I wouldn't want to live in a cookie cutter world where everybody's the same flavor of Oreo cookie. Would you?
Freaking boring that would be. Oh my goodness.
It would be boring.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It would be a boring world. It would be a boring world if everyone was the same. I like that there's difference and stuff like that. I like that. Even though we've all got our own paths and our own walks of life, we all still go really well together. Was for a reason. We were put here to be this and to do this stuff. You know what I mean? So
all of these different backgrounds, different perspectives coming together to create an even stronger channel of conscious faith.
Exactly, baby. I agree. I do agree there. Devastatingly great. If everyone was the same, it would be boring. It would. I agree.
Hey guys,
I agree.
My laptop is down to like hardly anything as far as battery power, because I think that something is sucking the battery life. But I just want to say this to each one of you and to the viewers, that faith comes from within. If you truly believe in your spirituality, why take things to the negative? Why judge that which you don't really know? Why judge one another? Have faith in yourself, in your gods, and walk that path of light. even through the struggles, keep faith. I love you
Yeah.
all. Blessed be.
Love you
Love
too,
you,
bro.
brother.
Well,
That's
Good
it,
nugget.
Steve. That was thunder within our.
Blessed be.
He's awesome.
love
You
thunder.
know, it says
Very,
it
very
says in that
wise and
Bible.
very acknowledgeable man. Very, very wise. Well, you all are, to be
I will
honest. You're all
say,
not acknowledgeable and wise men, but
Doesn't
there you go. I'm the only female.
I
doesn't
will
There's no
doesn't it
say,
pressure
say in the
anyone.
thunder
Bible?
is also thunder is
Doesn't it say
a shame. It's genuinely a real shame.
in the Christian point of view? Doesn't it say, "Judge not, lest ye be judged thyself"?
Yeah,
Judge
it's got
not. Yep, because that's the God's responsibility. That has nothing to do with mankind. That's
Right.
out of our hands, and I would not want that responsibility. I am glad I do not have to do that.
There's our judgments that create the ego that weigh us down. We let
Yep.
those go, and we have much more
Yep.
peace.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've faced it a lot in my life with my background. You know, I always said I'm too red to be I'm too red to be white and too white to be red. You know, I do speak my language fluently. You know, I'm 5/8 federally carded Cherokee. I have Apache and Choctaw, but I look Scottish. The Scottish side come out in me hard. I got blue eyes, you know, but I don't let that weigh me down anymore. I quit judging myself. That's another important step. Have faith in yourself. Don't judge yourself harsh. Other people will do that for you. Even if you walk the path of light, there'll be many people there to gang up on you, irregardless of what path you take. So why beat yourself up? There's going to be plenty of people try to do that anyway.
Absolutely. There's
Have
going to
faith.
all kinds of people want that, and it's having
Yeah.
that yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
using myself an example, my studies when I first started studying esotericism, everyone told me to stop. It was worthless. It was pointless. It was gibberish. It didn't mean anything. But my faith kept me going. It was a calling. I had to do it, and I'm so glad that I did. I have that faith. That's very, very cool.
Oh yeah. It changes
Faith
your
gets
world.
you in a lot of ways. It's an amazing thing to have.
Faith enables experiences. Look at
Well,
your
it is. If
experience
we
with
didn't have
Primrose.
faith, then we wouldn't be doing the stuff that we're doing now. Like, I definitely wouldn't have said to Mike a few weeks back, let's set up this group and start educating people if I didn't have faith in me or that he can do it and anybody else that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I've ever wanted to do is just educate people and to try to guide people in the right way and have them have somewhere that they can come to where they're going to be getting the advice correctly and they're not going to be getting misled into things that could put them in potential danger. Like, I just think that's really important. So
Faith
and it opens on Saturday, which is nuts. It's been like 2 weeks almost already. Like, it opens on Saturday, so it's like scary. Yeah,
it did go by
the
fast.
8th. Yeah, 8th is when we're opening it. That's Saturday.
Right.
Yeah,
we're also doing
cool.
an review in there for anyone that's interested in esoteric guys. We're going to study the 3 books of occult philosophy, volume 1. It's going to be fascinating.
Very cool.
And there's a lot of faith in there. One of the first things they talk about in that book is faith, which I think is fascinating.
It's going to be a really good one. So yeah, we've got a lot of really good stuff coming, and obviously the network as well. So that's going to be even better.
And look at all the faith that we're generating here in this. So that's creating a synergy between us all that is building momentum.
Oh yeah.
And see, faith, you can't buy all this faith. We come together. We wanted to embrace each other with our faith.
Naturally given. It's not something you buy. It comes naturally, and it comes through your loyalty and showing people that you're a true person and stuff. So
I say to God, I'll have 7 helpings of mystic faith in my people.
Thank you,
I didn't say that.
That's really
What
sweet
happened
of you,
was,
sweetheart.
it was a calling, a synchronicity of time brought 7 nights together to embrace and love each other. So after the show,
and that's what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see positive things for certain.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be really good.
I'm feeling good about it.
I'm loving the thoughts of these new tarot cards and stuff, and the book, writing up a book.
Yeah,
That'd be really
yeah. I mean, positive PMA, positive mental attitude. I mean, you can't really argue with common sense. Common sense is to remain positive and to try to do better things to empower one another. You know, to
I
look at
think
each.
like I was saying to you earlier, like with me, I think where my worry comes from is the simple fact I've not had teachings from other people. I've not been educated like some of the people have. You know what I mean? Like I've learned naturally. So that does worry me, but then at the same time it doesn't, because it's a different concept of going into the craft and going into what you believe in. You know what I mean? It's a different way of
Girl,
doing it.
I've got something empowering to tell you, and this is true. 72% of CEOs in the United States lie about their college degrees. 72%. That means most CEOs have either a less degree than they report or no degree at all. Most CEOs, matter of fact, I think it's 42% of CEOs in this country have no college degree. They have some college, but they have no degree. And you know how they got good at what they do?
It's not
Life
the degree thing.
experience.
Like, obviously, yeah, I get worried because there's a lot of people that say they've done this and done that, and they've had it where they've had teachers to sit there and learn them stuff. I haven't. I've had to learn through spirit, through myself, being natural.
Right.
Yes, in later in life, I come to establish my mum was exactly the same, but it was natural. You know what I mean? But in another way, it's not a bad thing, because obviously I can write my books and do things from my concept of things. And it's not going to be like any other book that people have ever read before. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Mike, you're the same way, aren't you? Didn't you self-learn a lot of your skills?
Absolutely. And in
Okay,
doing
yeah, like
that's
you said it there as well, Mark. He goes,
yeah. That's worth more than that. That wisdom from the real world is enlightening, and it enables people to have a shared vision of things.
It's not that I think I'm silly and people won't understand me. I do. I know that I've got my head up there. I know what I'm talking about. I know like my beliefs and stuff like that. That's why I've got so much of a following, and I've just always been me and been honest about anything that I do. Even though to some people, some of the stuff I've been able to do is strange, that's just who I am. And I don't expect everybody to trust in it or believe in it. That's up to them. But I know who I am. And that's how I've always learned people. I've never been somebody that's fake. I will tell people I don't have qualifications. I don't believe in qualifications. I believe in the old way. Our ancestors did not have qualifications to be who they were. And I want to carry that on.
They didn't have a college, dear. They didn't have college.
No, that's what I'm saying. They didn't have any of that. So why should we be any different? Why can't we carry on the old way? I don't believe in qualifications.
Let's call up Bradley. Bradley,
what's that?
How many of life's lessons have you learned on your path in your faith in what you do?
Yeah.
Wow, really? Wow.
It didn't come from a college.
Question.
It didn't come from a college.
We need another show for that, Mark.
I know. We just keep coming up with good ideas. But you learn from
you just said that. I won't tell you what the answer is, but the answer, I'm typing the answer right now. I've been blessed. I'm in a position to financially commit this in our future right now.
That's a good thing.
And it's like a lot of people are like behind it. Like it's like Light said that he's been self-learned and he's learned his ways, because obviously he's in Texas, so he gets about all of like the tribes and stuff like that. But he's learned naturally, and I don't think it's bad to be natural. And I don't think it's bad to be against qualifications. I don't.
Oh, I agree.
Because
we're opening up
somebody
a big
doesn't need
floodgate.
qualifications to be told if they're clever or not. You're clever in different ways. Like just because you might not be able to write a paper, it doesn't mean you can't speak the arse off someone and be intelligent. You can. Mm-hmm. Everybody learns differently.
What happens when we get all the like-minded people working together? All the artistic minds, all the creative, all the intellectual thinkers, all the people that see things in a different way, that want to do a common good, that's where we're headed. That's what we're working on. If people really want to know, that's the future. And our path is not alone. Probably some of them listening to us, or probably their paths are with us too. And they will find that in the future, you know.
And I will just say to you, Coffin, you are definitely not dumb. So I don't know what you're going on about there.
None of us are dumb. Everyone, even those listening.
That's my fellow. He's just mucking about. But
anybody listening ain't dumb. They couldn't be dumb and try to listen to what we're talking about, because the concepts are not mainstream.
Right.
This isn't cookie cutter. This is advanced thinkers, and anybody listening to this show is probably on that level. There's no dumb people here, I guarantee you.
No, dumb people here. I'm
No.
saying that too.
No, we the best and the brightest. Come on. We are the star children, and we are the future of humanity. We are the hope. We're the seventh generation. We are here to change the world together. No one person more important than the other, all an equal part to a puzzle that will be the solution for mankind. And you know, if I'm telling you the truth, any of our listeners, if you feel it in your spirit and you know it in your heart, and you have that faith that you believe you were created for a higher purpose, and you want to see a common goal of humanity transcending, your path's going to be with us, because we are a community. That's what we're doing.
Right.
And this man up here, he's a powerful force behind it and helping with it. Everyone here has vested interest to work together and faith in one another as a community. I think that's where strength lays. That's a faith. And it's a faith. And most of our viewers that are watching this, they'll know if they have that faith too. I guarantee you we're not alone. There's a lot more of us than we realize.
We don't want them to have a place where they're coming to, where they don't feel they can be themselves. You know what I mean? Like, you can be yourself, and you're not going to be judged for learning and being unique and being different.
Right. And we're all on different levels.
Right.
Mike, wouldn't you say that we're on? Wouldn't you all?
But not everyone's got. We've all got motivation and activate, and we're all activated. We all activate motivation to forge new paths. That's what we all do, and that's what I like. I like that. Hey.
We're on different levels too. Think about this, Mike. Wouldn't you say that a lot of people that approach you are on all different levels?
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that, people. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner. I mean, the fact that you understand the concept is revolutionary. It is an evolutionary process in our species. The fact that you see things in that type of light, it sets you apart. It makes you special. It makes you unique. You know, I say I'm a weirdo, you know. I'll be honest. I'm starting a weirdo club, so we're going to have some fun with it. But I'm telling you what, think about the weirdos. Weirdos are your intellectuals, your artists, your gifted musicians, your performers. Anybody that sees outside the box is my mainstream society labels it as a weirdo. Give me the weirdos. Heck yeah. Because we're the ones that see the big picture. We're the ones that create everything that other people experience. You know, the weirdos are the solution. And with that term comes the term faith. You have to have faith in what you do, or you will never get there. But have faith in your individuality and your unique nature, and you will go far.
Also, you know, weirdos, laugh on what you want, but weirdos have more fun.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yep. You can't go to a party without the weirdos, because that's going to be the fun, folks.
Yeah, really.
We can't. I can't hardly read that. My eyes are getting old.
It says we can't be our true selves where we live. It comes with bad consequences.
That's sad. Then, you know, the solution for that person would be a relocation to some place that is more understanding or receptive to their beliefs or their way of life. Don't constrain yourself by the perceptions of other people. Constrain yourself by your own personal moral convictions and your faith in what you do and who you are. Be as unique and individual and weird as you want to be, and revel in that stuff. I often hear, you'll hear sometimes, and I love this. You'll hear a drag queen sometimes, they'll go, "Girl, rock this," and they'll flip their hands above their head and snap their fingers. It's kind of fun because they're really, proud and feeling good about who they are as a person or something they're wearing or doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't judge that person because they're wearing something different. Big deal. I mean, I wear all kinds of bizarre stuff. I've got a hat I'm a clown, by the way, folks. So I have a hat with a propeller on it. I have funky wigs. I have all kinds of crazy stuff I wear as a clown. And you know what? I have fun with it. If you have fun with life, life is much more enjoyable. So to that person that was just writing that, learn to love yourself and love where you're at in life and transcend. If your environment's holding you down, get out of it. If people are holding you down, get out of it. I mean, if people cause you drama or problems, have the faith in what you do, who you are, and what you want to be around or like, to walk away. I mean, there'll be people in your own family that will cause you drama or problems or grief. Learn to turn your back and walk away. Ignore it. Rise above it. You don't have to sink to that level. Your life will improve. But that person, give some serious thought about a relocation, because sometimes a step backwards is a step forward.
That's absolutely right, man. And I'll share this with you guys too. When I was younger and first started studying, I grew up in a very Baptist household. I came home, and all I was doing, guys, I was meditating out in the woods. I came home all blissed out to see a bonfire in the backyard of all of my books that I've written, my Book of Shadows, my Grimoires, everything I studied, in a giant fire.
Oh, God.
And to say that I was angry would be an understatement. Fast
Yeah.
forward 20 years later, a lot of inner work and forgiveness. My brother that did the burning, that actually burnt them, is now my sister, and turned to me in faith to come out because he knew I wouldn't judge him.
Well, see, that's the key. Sometimes we grow, and forgiveness isn't always about forgiving another person, because we learn from our mistakes.
Right.
Somebody does you dirty, you can forgive them, but the forgiveness is for yourself, not necessarily the person. But we learn from our mistakes, so you don't allow yourself to be put back in that compromised position. But at the same time, we should try to work together as a people and a species. Judgment. I've been. I got failed one time in 6th grade because, believe it or not, because of my skin tone, because they knew I was, indigenous. And the teacher actually went to the parent-teacher conference and admitted, and from the superintendent, she failed me because I was, quote, one of those people, And when you experience things like that, you get a lot of bitterness in your heart, and you're hurt. You're hurt because you've had faith in this person, as authority in your life, but then you start to realize how small and pitiful that person really is, and you rise above. And so I was kind of hesitant to speak my language around what we call Onega. Onega is a Cherokee word for white, by the way, and it's not used as derogatory. It's just what we call the people, and but. And there's a derogatory term too. I won't use it, but it's similar. But the fact of the matter is she was so narrow-minded that she couldn't see that I was unique, and that there wasn't many of my type left in the area, and that the things that I had would fuel for a young mind to learn more about my culture. When I went to the powwows and I hear them going, hey, hey, that is not Cherokee songs. And I'm thinking, man, that's not a single word in our language. What is that? And if we're looking at a Cherokee song, be like, Ushte Hakatahe, Ma daku ha ushte hegashka. It's in our language, for God's sakes, and there's a beauty in that. And we had this misconception that we all wore these Western war bonnets and we all slept in teepees and stuff. It's like Cherokee never had that stuff. We didn't look like that. But the conception, even on the Eastern Band, if you go over to the reservation, there's people set up in teepees wearing Western war bonnets, for God's sakes. And I took 2 Lakota friends over there and they're really pissed because they're passionate people. The Sioux people are passionate. And they're like, what are they wearing our stuff for? And I'm like, yeah, I wanted to know. But that's like what the tourists expect. But tell me how any less cool is the headdress of an uku. It's white feathers that go all different directions, wear a turkey mantle cape. What we had was cool in itself. We didn't have to be anybody else to fit in. But having that life lesson being so hard gave me the faith, and there's the key term, folks. It gave me the faith to explore my own culture and my own spirituality as a person.
Absolutely. And that's, you said, beautifully articulated what I meant too. Out of that experience, I realized how much faith I had in myself.
There you go.
My work that I was doing, even though I was told multiple times to stop and it was pointless, was invaluable. It's my gold. And find that, guys. In doing so, you'll find a place where you belong, where you fit in, where you're safe. Much like we are starting this Saturday. Everyone is safe there.
Mm-hmm. And something to think about too, and I think this is something, and my company is working on this. Can you imagine living in communities of people of like mind? We all too often, we got to live in a little town named, I'm going to say Scooterville. We all live in Scooterville, and Scooterville's this hodgepodge of people, But what if you could live someplace that was really unique? What if you could live in a treehouse village or a hobbit town, or a shire, or live in a medieval castle village? Or what if you could live in places that was themed, or you had common ground? Like we want to build tiny home sustainable communities. Can you imagine a bunch of hippie farmers that wanted to live together, make music, and grow really cool food?
Oh yeah.
Art and music. Why do we all got to live in cookie cutter houses that look the same? They have no curves, no individuality, right? Why do we all got to look the same? Why do we all got to have the same stuff? Man, give me bright colors any day of the week, something weird, something funky looking. That's what I want to go see, experience, and do. If I go someplace, show me the guy or the gal that's going to be unique looking, look different than everybody else there. That's the one I want to talk to. Yeah, have faith in yourself. But once we have that faith in ourselves, there's nothing wrong with it, seeking out people of like mind and associating with them.
That's right. And doing that, I feel so much more connected, where for the longest time I did feel very alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's finding my community, my tribe, my people. That's an interesting thing too. Is the tribe that I come from, the Anishinaabe, here in the Michigan and northern regions, the tribe was so small it was annihilated. It no longer exists. Any members got absorbed into the bigger tribes that still had members. So the culture here, the things that, like the stories that would be personal to me, I knew. And it was my faith that created such a desire in me to go and study all of the other tribes and bring back together the stories and see the underlying unity of it all.
Isn't that cool though?
That is amazing. I love that journey.
You give somebody like Bradley a medieval castle to live in. Even if you had just an apartment in a medieval castle, tell me we couldn't have Bradley living in a medieval castle. He'd move there so fast, that hat would fly off getting to it. Am I not right, Bradley?
Well, my home that I live in right now is actually my chapel. This is the chapel of light. And if you go in the other room, that's called my chamber. And in the chamber, I summons and conjure rituals using words of power to create manifestations and ripples in the cosmos. That's how magic works.
Would you live in a castle though with other people
Yeah,
that had apartments
I would live
if
in a
they had the
castle.
same mindset?
I just want a treehouse in the middle of the woodlands. I'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah. Can you imagine a witch village? I mean, you've got Salem, which is Witch City, USA, and that's cool. But can you imagine an actual witch city? Or tell me
That would
about a
be so
Halloween
cool.
town. You know how
That'd be so
cool
cool.
it would be to have a Halloween town where it was
That'd be so
Halloween
cool.
365? I would be there so fast that, yeah, it would not even be funny.
I'm with Sherry. I'd like
I love that movie, Halloween Town.
Yeah, or a treehouse village, living like the Ewoks. Oh God, yeah. That would be cool because it's different, it's unique, you know. But you would have a stronger sense of community with your neighbors because you have so much in common with them. You know, most of the time we don't even talk to our neighbors anymore a lot of time. And how sad is that? You know, that people live close to you that you barely know. You know, you don't know whether you have things in common with them. I think that'll be the future of humanity. You're going to see humanity cuddle up in groups of people with like minds and like motivations and interest. You know, I think hobbies are an important part of that, you know, but that again is faith. If you have faith in your neighbors, have the same belief, that's what's cool, you know?
And you know, that's interesting. In my culture, they have the story of how the new Earth, we will live more as we did before. We'll live more in tribes, so to speak, which is kind of what we're talking about here.
That's what we're going back to, yes.
And in that,
Yeah.
we'll find the safety, security, and prosperity that we seek and crave.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with it.
No. And doing that,
There's
so
nothing wrong with that at all. And it doesn't make, you know, people say, oh, well, you can't live in a community like that because you would be a cult. No, you're not. That doesn't make you a cult. Nobody's telling you how to believe or what to think or brainwashing anyone. You know, it's common interest. I mean, that's much more exciting. You know how many people join groups or clubs or something just to be around people like cosplayers? If you go to any comic book convention and stuff where they got cosplayers, all the cosplayers get together. They all know each other. You know, what if they lived in communities where all the cosplayers lived in the same communities? You could go walking up the street and see Iron Man or frickin' Thor or, you know, Athena or God knows what, you know. How cool would that? And they are creative. Man, hats off to those people. They're some of the most creative people in the world. They really need to be in the film industry. I'm telling you, they're missing the mark. Hollywood is so yesterday. It's pathetic. You know, we need a new film industry to begin with. You know, new television, new film industry. You know, we're looking at these lines, folks. We ain't just talking here. There may be some basis in reality, exactly what we're saying. Everybody here has faith in that too. So look out. But can you imagine cosplayers getting together and good script writers writing new storylines and creating creative works that are like movies that are interesting? How cool is that? But that takes faith, guys. Faith.
that is very beautiful.
That's cool.
That is very cool.
Oh man, I would give anything to see that. That to me would be like ambrosia. I'm serious. People being creative in their own element, Zenic, like you get me and a bunch of plant yuppies together. Man, you can't have too many plants around us. People that are into plants just love plants. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're at home in a greenhouse or with our hands in the dirt or the smell of the soil. Man, that stimulates our soul. You know, like when I used to own a hot rod shop when I was a kid, when I was young. But if you had hot rods and stuff full with old cars, man, the smell of nitromethane or paint, automotive paint, it's intoxicating. I mean, you absolutely love it. But there's nothing wrong with that. We need to find each other and find common ground. Why wait to special events to do something? Live your day-to-day life like that.
Right. And the more we do that, the more or the less we have of anger, fear, and frustration.
It gets rid of all that.
Right.
It gets rid, and also it fosters cooperation because you're going to know what level your neighbor's on. You know, like, hey, I'd really like to figure out how you made that gauntlet, you know, for your costume or whatever. You know, how cool is that? You can go to the next door neighbor and talk to him about how he made this, or, you know, or if you're in a community of writers and you're having I'm a published author, so we sometimes get what's called writer's lock, you know, writer's block or lock. How cool is it to go to a community where you can talk to other published authors that might give you ideas that spawn new creative ideas or endeavors, you know? We're talking about a whole world of art, music, and evolution that would happen in mankind within a generation, one generation. Something similar started to happen in the 1980s because MTV come out and they were all visual artists. They were not musicians, folks. Most of those bands were visual artists. That's the kind of revolution we need in the world in general.
100%.
People still playing that music. Tell me somebody that doesn't listen to 80s music. Most people going to listen to that stuff. It's fun. I mean, I'm an old hippie. I'm going to listen to 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you know. But
Favorite band is the Doors.
80s have a special spot. I'm sorry. It does. But that's creativity. But having a faith in that, because that era was fun and people had faith in what they did. They didn't care that they went out there and looked ridiculous with a flower pot on their head with a whip, like the Devo band Whip It good, you know? And then they had a little synthesizer, you know? They're out there with a flower pot on their head, dude, and they made history. That's amazing. But that's faith.
Great point.
And Eloise, I was just going to say to you, sweetheart, there's a lot of things out in this world that you wouldn't have thought is real. That is, so yeah. And Hollywood is one of the worst places to be not putting things out the way it should be.
True that.
Hollywood is smoke and mirrors, folks. And even the term up on the hill that you see, Hollywood, holly is the wood of a witch's wand or a wizard's staff. They're made from holly, Hollywood, because there's an illusion to it. Do you see? And there's a reason they call it TV programming. I don't like the idea of programming. I like the idea let's explore new creative media or outlets or ideas and let you make the decision. That's the future. That's the future.
I definitely agree with that as well, Eloise. Metallica, yeah. I love Metallica.
Yeah.
And Slayer, yeah.
Before Metallica pushed out, right?
Maybe a little black.
I like the early Metallica. Yeah.
Love that.
I'm a metalhead. I can't help it.
Pink Floyd, now behave yourself.
We don't need no education. I got to get my British accent up for that one, right?
Yeah.
We don't need your thought control. Yeah, exactly, dude. Faith.
Love it. Guys, I love the show, but I do have to go and put my little ones to bed.
The go. Hey, brother.
Much love. Bright blessings.
Okay, thank you for being here. Yeah, we're like coming near the end of the show. It's a pleasure to have you all near us. And like, it's been pretty informative about faith. We did a show on faith. You wouldn't think that you could talk for 2 hours about faith, would you really? Faith. And I'll tell you something. This is the age of Aquarius, dawning of a new horizon. And my faith is immense. I have faith that the future looks orange. That's all right.
Well, you've had a hard week as well, Bradley, and then you've got good news. So there is a lot of faith there. You know what I mean? You've been looked after.
I know. I was so stressed out with an operation, really. And like, wow. And the possibility of not surviving the operation. And now, onwards and upwards, faith is immense. It's all looking good. In fact, I'm going to connect us. What we do at end this show, and I'd like to introduce you to someone. Isn't it? Have you got the time?
Onward and upward.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you everyone for watching the show. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Love and light. Thank you for coming in, guys. Blessings to you all. Blessed being.
Go ahead. Hey.